The 1958 movie Anti-Mame, starring Rosalind Russell, is one of my favorite classic movies. Always armed with a colorful dress and an acerbic quip, the flamboyant, vibrant socialite, Mame Dennis, doesn't believe in letting life pass her by. The movie follows her through the highs and lows of life that include the Great Depression, loss of loved ones, loss of fortune, the struggles of making a living, and all while taking on the unexpected responsibility of raising her young nephew Patrick. In an iconic and defining scene from the movie, Mame encourages her sheltered, frumpy assistant, Agnes Gooch, to break away from her typewriter and live. Life's a banquet, she declares, and most poor suckers are starving to death. Live! And she did. Today, I live at the banquet of life. Here's a photo from Thanksgiving dinner last year, with my family and friends gathered around our banquet table. You may even recognize a few familiar faces. But life wasn't always like this for me. There was a time when I was the starving sucker at the banquet table of life. I was miserable. I'm Joel Barrett, and I lived the first 36 years of my life controlled by fear. There I was, a conservative Baptist pastor, married to my college girlfriend, raising 3 kids in the Midwest, and wondering what I was going to do about being gay, which was something I had known all of my life but had not been able to change. Not for lack of trying, though. I had spent my entire life doing everything I could to be straight. I was in church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. I memorized scripture, listened to preaching, prayed at the altar, and continually begged God to please, please take it away. It all culminated in me spending nearly 3 years in ex-gay therapy. Feeling like the poster boy of ex-gay therapy, I gave it 110%, which included weekly counseling, group meetings, retreats, conferences, books, behavior modification. Oh, in case you're wondering, it didn't work. At 36, I opened the closet door and stepped out. I began stripping away the layers of denial and fear. Underneath, I found a beautiful man that I'd never allowed myself or anyone else to know. It wasn't easy. In fact, I went through some of the darkest days of my life. But I was determined I wasn't going to live in fear anymore, and I'd start living an authentic life. Fear is a powerful force. With every move, it whispers in your ear, but what if? What if mom finds out? What if the church finds out? What if I lose my job? What if? And fear is happy to provide scary answers to those questions. As I tell my clients, fear is a liar. It will tell you whatever it takes to keep you from moving forward. It will try to convince you that what you fear is a reality is. And with its illusions, it keeps you trapped by what you think you know. Today, I write and speak to audiences about living above their fears. I wish I could say I could make your fears go away, but I can't. See, fear is healthy because courage cannot exist without it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's acting despite your fears. It's deciding to look under the bed and see what's there despite what you think might be there. What do you fear? My fear was coming out of the closet and living as a gay man. I feared judgment. What are you afraid of? What's stopping you from being able to live and enjoy the banquet of life? I'd like to introduce you to Joel Barrett today. In 2013, I married my husband David Seymour, and in February of 2015, we will celebrate 9 years together. Together, we raised my 3 children, who are all now young adults and have brought me 2 granddaughters. Now, I'm not trying to paint a happily ever after picture. Life is certainly not without its challenges. But life is a banquet, and I have chosen to live. My sincere desire for you is for you to do the same. I'd like to close with one last story. I remember the day my ex-gay counselor regretfully told me in an email that he could not connect me with even one man like myself who could tell me that life would be so much better if I would just stick with the ex-gay therapy. I sat there alone, absorbing the words on the page, and then wadded up the email, tossed it aside, and said out loud, "Then I'm done. I have a life to live." And today, with no regrets and no retreat, I live.